KP George was the Fort Bend County Judge,
Duly elected.
duly elected. Legal issues happen. He's indicted. He is sentenced, or he's indicted.
Mhm.
Is that's when his removal process began?
No,
or?
his removal process began last August when a person, an individual, got to go back to civilian, but an individual in the community, Sarah Roberts, she showed up to Commissioner's Court. Mr. Judge K.P. George, because he still is the legal title holder to that office, Judge K.P. George would not let her speak and instructed that the bailiffs remove her from court. That violated her First Amendment rights. She then obtained a lawyer to file a Chapter 87 civil removal action, which that's something that people can file, but the prosecution of the case has to be carried by a state actor, an individual who is a prosecutor in the state of Texas or identified by the court as such that could carry or prosecute the case in the name of the state of Texas, and then take that case to a trial for vacancy. So during the pendency of that civil removal, 87.017 of the local government code says that the judge has the ability to suspend the officer and appoint a person to perform the duties pending trial on removal. March 2026, KP George was found guilty by a jury. I believe about a week or so after that, the judge in that civil removal case then decided to appoint Mr. Wong as the interim county judge. I'll say acting county judge because he's just there to perform the duties per that statute that allows for the same during the or pending the trial on removal. Now, this is where it gets a little shaky. In June, KP George is sentenced. In the criminal case where he is sentenced, the judge vacates him from office, but then immediately there is an awareness that Mr. George is going to file a appeal. The district attorney's office filed a motion to have him suspended from office without pay pending the appeal. So KP George still has a job. He's still Judge George. He just can't come to work and can't get a paycheck. That's what the court decided in that criminal case. Separately, the civil removal case, the plaintiff in that case non-suited. And it makes sense, she non-suits because there's no need to litigate a vacancy because the criminal court has already resolved that. Once she non-suited that case, which is a plaintiff saying, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm going home. Once she did that, every order, temporary order that's in place, vanished. It's over because a non-suit makes the matter done, finished, and there is no final judgment carried out past that because none was really obtained. But the unique thing about this case is that it was a non-suit with prejudice. So Sarah can't even go back and sue KP George again for the removal. So it almost was a judgment on the merits because she cannot ever sue him again to remove him from office. So therefore, Mr. George, or KP George, Judge George, was restored to his original position in that action. Because once a non-suit occurs, you go back to status quo. Mr. Wong believes, oh no, I got this order. This order means I'm county judge for however long I can be. And I'm gonna stay county judge until the election or until January 1, because that's when the office would turn over for election. Our position is that cannot be reconciled to the practice of law. That's not how any of this works. In any case, when you non-suit, it's over. You don't get to carry a temporary order out of a non-suited case and still enforce it. But he believes that order still says that I'm the county judge and I don't care what you say. Interestingly enough, on Thursday, May 14th, during a commissioner's court meeting, which you all could check for yourself, online records, he admitted that he understood that on or about June 16th, that this would all be over for him. And so now it's just amazing that we are at the point where we have some different understandings when in May, he understood that this was going to be the end of this position for him. And so here we are now to the present, where he believes that he should hold the office and still conduct the business. And our position is that is contrary to law, established case precedent. And therein lies the disagreement. And here we are with matters pending.
So I believe I'm the only non-lawyer attorney in this group.
Okay.
If that's okay. Because I'm going to ask some questions.
Sure.
So the judge who appointed him,
Yes.
they just don't go back and say,
hey. It's over. It's he can't go back and clarify the order because the case is over. So to dabble in the substance of the case is to keep the litigation going. And the plaintiff has already said, I'm done with my case. And a judge can't force a plaintiff to carry a prosecution or a cause of action if they have declined to do so.
So Wong recently sued, correct? But
yes.
dropped it since
yes,
then.
he sued me
about that suit and where that came from, and help me understand, or help us understand in the basics what it was about.
That lawsuit was about alleging things about me that were not true. Okay. I do not conduct ultra-virus acts. I give legal advice to my clients. And it was basically a way to just make me stop saying that he should not serve in office. The funny thing is he sued me, right? But here's the thing. We have, I think it's called I forget the exact legal term, but when you sue a countywide elected official, you sue the county. You don't sever me out. So he sued himself because my litigation team was going to file the answer to make sure that he understood that you have to sue the county. You can't just sue me.
So is this in sense not just suing the county, but suing us, the residents, the taxpayers?
Exactly.
Because we're the ones who pay?
Yes, and y'all the one who put me here. So
Okay.
it was, I will say this. It was not a useful legal addition to this mess. I'll say that. It added to more confusion. And it was a lot of cameras and press statements and ugly statements said about me from him and Commissioner Myers, and these attacks, let me just say, they've been attacking me for about a year and a half, more maybe longer than that. Go back if you have a chance and watch the Commissioners Court meeting on April 22nd, 2025. You will see a very ugly exchange where I'm essentially sitting there doing my job and things just start getting hurled at me, in addition to people signing up to come to court in a coordinated manner just to talk bad about me. Yeah, so that was all last summer. So I say all that to say this thing that happened on Monday and all of the insults, no one from this camp is insulting anybody. This is a legal issue for us. And you don't resolve matters in court by attacking each other. You'll quickly get in trouble with the judge. But yeah, the case was non-suited. I have yet to receive a formal notice of that non-suit. So they were happy to email it to me to say I've been sued, but they did not say, okay, we non-suited. We've heard it from other mediums.
So Wong has stopped his case. He's withdrawn his case.
Yes.
Are there any other pending legal actions right now that where a judge does have the jurisdiction to determine if he should be in the law?
The only other pending legal matters we know, there's the Galveston County case. Surprisingly, there's been some action in that since that non-suit with prejudice. Sarah Roberts has gotten new lawyers on that case, and Mr. Wong's lawyers have intervened in that case on his behalf. And I'm kind of surprised by that, because if they believe the validity of the order, why are you going to go back to that Galveston County case? So you must believe that there's something not right.
Just to clarify for people, the initial Sarah Roberts case was filed in Galveston County?
Well, no, let me clarify. Per Local Government Code, Chapter 87, the case is filed and assigned by the administrative judge to an outside county. It happened to land in Galveston with the Seth Jones was the judge that was assigned to it. Yes.
So with Wong, the suits, and now, is that on behalf of us tax dollars, or is he paying for his attorneys?
That would be a question for him. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not sure how he's
okay,
securing
so
his counsel.
So he just at this point, Commissioner's Court, he's just at this point gets to show up and just be there and present himself as interim.
According to him and his lawyers, there is no court order that says that.
So what are we waiting for?
Our action, our case, our quo warranto action is pending before the 400 District Court. In order to carry the quo warranto action, first we have to be granted leave by the district judge to prosecute the quo warranto. Judge Edward Krennick has our documents, and he's had them since Tuesday morning. So we're waiting for him to sign the order granting us leave to further pursue the prosecution or the quo warranto, so citation can be entered. We can go ahead and start having these temporary restraining orders and start stabilizing the situation as best we can from a legal perspective in the courts.
Okay. And earlier I heard you speaking, and you were clarifying your role, your position, that you are a representative of the people.
Yes.
In this district. So this is so that people could know and understand you are basically a nonpartisan.
I am doing
position.
my job. That's like suing the DA for filing criminal charges against you. That's the exact context.
Okay. And so, as you explained earlier, the reason that you are doing, or you're in, obviously, is because he can be conducting business that may be determined is not legal because he is not doing it in a actual legal,
in an authorized manner. Exactly.
Okay. We just want to make sure that we get that over to the people so they can understand why you're in this,
yes,
quote unquote fight. Not
yes.
Why? Because of the concern, the taxpayers, yes, the people,
and essentially, I'm, like I said, I'm being attacked for carrying out my duties, and I can't reiterate that enough. That's like the DA prosecuting you for a DWI. Oh, it's partisan. No, it's not. It's duty.
And you suing.
Yeah, and you're suing the DA for, and the law is clear that the quo warranto statute is attached to this office, and there's just nothing else to add to that. It's a simple understanding.
So at this point, you're fighting for the people, and then you're fighting for yourself against
the attacks of those commissioners and one participant. I'll say that.
I have a question. So the court that has the case that was submitted, or the suit that was submitted on Tuesday, which court is that?
It's the 400 District Court, Judge Edward Krennick.
Of Fort Bend County?
Of Fort Bend County, yes.
Okay, so the judge, let's say hypothetically, the judge returns the order favorable to Fort Bend County. What happens next Thursday?
So first off, we have meetings on the second and fourth Thursdays of each month. They would have to.
So the next meeting.
The next meeting. If it's favorable in Fort Bend County and establishes that this person is not holding the seat in proper form or legally or with authorization to do so, then you would still have 4 elected qualified members of court able to carry the business of the county.
So similar to, I just left Harris County this morning. Judge, her daughter was sick, so she wasn't there.
And
Commissioner Ellis presided.
Yes.
And business went on.
That same thing could happen here. Exactly. Same thing that could happen here.
So if he were to show up at that point, would he be removed from
I will say this. I would hope that we don't have to cross that road. That's all I'll say that. Okay. So, all right.
Perfect. I want to shift real quick to talk about how you, what year are you in as county attorney? This is your second term?
Second term. So I think I'm coming into my 6th year. Yes.
How are you managing this emotionally, personally, and as a leader to this great staff of 22 attorneys as well as support staff? How are y'all navigating this? Because it's like an internal thing, like you're fighting your own house.
Yes.
Your own roof, so to speak.
Yes.
To stay safe and to be able to provide shelter to the
rest
of the family.
Yes.
How are you navigating that?
We are navigating this the best way we can. We're trying to maintain our ethics and confidentiality in all ways that we can. And although we do have a duty to represent our clients, represent them zealously, we don't have to be insulted and attacked. And unfortunately, that has been the I'll say that's what's been extended to us in commissioner's court, in particular myself. But those attacks on me are also attacks to my staff and also the voters, because the voters said yes, she could do the job, and they said it twice. And in the second time, no one ran against me, so they said I was doing a great job, right? So every time that I'm being thrust in a position to where I'm insulted, competency challenged, dog whistles, all the things, we recognize it for what it is. And this did not start until there was a partisan shift on the court. When Judge George decided to be a Republican, things and the dynamics, how it was treated, and even basic things of how he was spoken to in court changed significantly. We are doing the best we can to keep the people at the center. Do the work regardless of the personalities. We understand that there might be hostilities towards me, and I would say also if it flows to my staff as well, because all of these lawyers that work for me are deputized by me. They are a direct extension of me in this office, and so it's an attack on all of us. We keep the work going. We make the main things the main things. We show up every day, even without AC, and we do what the people put me here to do. So I don't care about their politics. What I care about are all the people out here who need roads, who need services, pest, mosquito control, access to county business, waivers for parks and for youth sports and all of those things. That's what we care about. So it's difficult, but I tell you, I've got a great team of people working behind me, from my first assistant to my investigators, my chiefs, my administrative assistant, communication specialist. All of us, we're doing the best we can to hold together. And I'll add this because when people say, "Hey, she's partisan," she's partisan. Most of the people that work for me are from my predecessors. I didn't fire anybody. So we come to work and we do the work. I don't manage people politics. I manage your performance. I don't care how you vote as long as we're doing the work. We represent everything you could think of, from Republicans, Democrats, independents, Christians, Muslims. I think we have Jewish employees. We have gay. We have straight. It doesn't matter. You work, live in Deedville to Missouri City, Arcola, Katy, Fresno, Stafford, Meadows Place, Sugar Land. It doesn't matter. And of course, all different kinds of backgrounds. And that's the best thing that I think, because we are not some homogenous think tank or echo chamber. We are people working together. I'm a proud Democrat. I've got some proud Republicans, but we work together to get the job done. One of the main contributors to the Quo Warranto action is a conservative Republican, but he calls it for what it is. And so, again, we are here doing the people's work because we're trying to respect the rule of law.